She's one of the most cruel, most calculating, and most reserved of the great villains. She is full of pure evil. But I've watched the Milos Forman film, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and I've read Ken Casey's excellent novel with several people who actually failed to recognize her as the agent of absolute terror. I guess that's her greatest strength. The appearance of normality. Hi, stand-up philosopher here, and welcome to the second part of our study into the great villains and heroes of media. If you didn't catch the Moriarty, maybe check that out, because right now it's going to be some pretty dark stuff. The system attacks with the appearance of sensibility. The system does not make abrasive mistakes, nor does the system take dangerous measures. Everything it does is logical. If R.P. McMurphy, our hero, represents humanity at its most existentially limitless and free, then Nurse Ratched is emblematic of the status quo. She is the institution. She's a bureaucrat. She's logical. She's sound. But peel back a thin layer and see the terrifying truth. She is heartless, soulless, patient, and impossible to decipher. An emotionless, unassuming face, nearly featureless, reasonably numb in light of her position of limited power. She is the understandable tyrant. She is the system in all its vagueness of form. It's impossible to win a war you don't know you're in, and Nurse Ratched is the most merciless of bloody conquerors. The existential lessons Nurse Ratched teaches us are ones that are terribly bitter, but unmistakably, unshakably true. 1. The system always wins. The freer we are, the more trapped we become. Camus would have loved this paradox, as McMurphy's siege is an absurd struggle. The universe grants him no mercy and no chance of winning over the carefully soulless world that Nurse Ratched controls. And how does she control this world? Through a sustained, reserved, revered, and peaceful malice, with soft-spoken hatred and a well-meaning holocaust. Number 2, you are the master of yourself. We do have a choice. As absurd as it is, we can take control of our lives and live truly free, or we can succumb to Sartrean bad faith. The choice is ours, but the penalty of freedom is grave. The talent of Nurse Ratched, her ultimate power as a narrative symbol, is that she is so carefully, methodically composed within herself. There is a grace, however insincere, to her every movement and vindictive judgment. A master manipulator, she nearly compels McMurphy and others through blank slate telepathy to sign their death certificates over to her. She is the systemic horror. Every ounce of hatred in her and for her is understandable, comprehensive, and logical to a fault. Nurse Ratched warns us about inescapability within systemic parameters. She warns us of boundaries, of gender, politics, class, and health. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest asks who is truly insane, the doctor or the patient. But when it comes to who is a more dangerous person, Nurse Ratched or R.P. McMurphy, the answer is absolutely clear. Nurse Ratched is a sinister menace, a symbol of the systematic breakdown of humanity, and she must be stopped. Nurse Ratched warns us to proceed with caution, for there are some evils in this world that cannot be beaten. I think the most important question asked by the story concerns the weight of two opposing symbols. Which symbol is more beneficial to society? That of harsh logic or extreme freedom? Nurse Ratched can promise us the one, but not the latter.
I can explain everything.
Please do, Billy. Explain everything.
Everything?
Aren't you ashamed?
No, I'm not.
All right.
You know, Billy, what worries me is how your mother's going to take this.
Well, you don't have to tell her, Miss Ratched.
I don't have to tell her. Your mother and I are old friends, you know that.
Please don't tell my
Don't you think you should have
mother.
thought of that before you took that woman in that room?
No. I didn't.
You mean she dragged you in there by force?
She did. Everybody did.
Everybody? Who did? You tell me who did.
Murphy. Miss Ratched. Please don't tell me.
Mr. Warren?
My mother, please.
Would you see that the men are washed and ready for the day?
Miss Ratched, please don't tell my
Mr.
mother.
Washington, put Billy in Dr.
No.
Davies' office.
No.
Stay with him till the doctor arrives.
No.
Move it. Come on, Martini, get on.
No.
Thanks for watching. Nurse Ratched's one of my all-time favorite villains. She's incredibly interesting when looked as a symbol as of the system, as as vague as that sounds, as broad as that is, and it truly is broad, and it's meant to be broad. But there's something just so completely scary about her, because I feel like she's the kind of villain that if you were to try to justify yourself, you would doubt yourself almost immediately. If you were to try to explain to people that you knew exactly what she did that was so evil and so wrong, they would look at you as if you were insane. They would probably immediately side with her. It's just a very scary situation. But I just really wanted to thank you for watching the second part of this. And if you didn't catch the first part, it's about Moriarty, who is my favorite villain. Check out that video. It shouldn't be too hard to find because I only have about 2 at this point. And hopefully I'll get better and the quality of the videos will go up, and hopefully we can keep it interesting though, because I really like analyzing and studying these great media villains, because I think that they tell us a great deal about ourselves, and about our society, because these are the things that really shape us, that really modernize us. Thank you. This is the Stand-Up Philosopher, and until next time, I should come up with some kind of, like a bazinga or something fucking stupid. It'll come to me eventually, most likely on accident. But for now, just, bada bada boo. No, that's not, that was pitiful.